Well, hello everybody. It's Laura Trotter here, and I'd love to thank you so much for joining me on this webinar today, where I'm going to uncover some of the lurking dangers that are typically found in our homes and that impact the health of us and our families and our pets as well. So, in particular, I'm going to share the 5 main sources of toxins in your home. But before we get started, I just want to check that everything is working okay. So if you could please type in the chat box just to the right of your screen if you can hear me, that would be fabulous. And while you're doing that, I just want to run over some housekeeping as well. Now, that chat box will be open throughout the webinar, so you can type some questions or comments in there, and I'll make sure I get to as many of them in the question and answer section towards the end of the webinar, but I'll just pop in and have a look at it at times throughout the webinar as well. And Rebecca, my assistant and awesome office manager, is also on board today just to help manage that chat room. So she'll be flagging your questions with a question mark so I can easily see them when I come and pop back in, and she'll be sorting out any tech issues that you have. All right, so I'm just going to check the chat box that you can hear me because my screen is just doing some funny things. And yeah, great, cool. Hi, Carly and Mel and Angie, Kenna, Karen and Beck. That's great that you can hear me and I can hear and see your comments too. All right, so on this webinar today, what am I going to be covering? Okay, I'm going to keep it really sharp and as much to the point as I possibly can because I know that you're probably all strapped for time. And so I'm just going to pretty much start with a very quick overview of my background, just so you know a little bit about me and where I've come from. I'll dive straight in and keep it of maximum value to you, and we'll cover the 5 main sources of toxins in your home. And then I'll also go through some simple steps that you can take to reduce the risk of these toxins. And as promised, I'll chat about the one common ingredient in most household products that isn't what it seems. And then I'll cover a special invitation for you to learn some more and answer any questions that you have. Okay, so very quickly, for those of you that don't know me, I'm an environmental engineer and I have been one of them. I guess I started studying that in 1995, so it's something like 21 years ago this year. As a 17-year-old, I packed my bags, left my country town and moved to Melbourne to study environmental engineering. And I loved it. I basically stumbled on the course and the career that I wanted straight away. So I did very well, being very passionate, and I also was always quite strong in my maths and sciences. So I won a scholarship at university and I started working with a minerals company it was. So I started working during my holidays and also at the end of graduating 4 years later for a minerals company. And this is me as a graduate on the Derwent River in Hobart, monitoring air quality and particular dust around a zinc smelter down there. I worked there for a little while and then I moved up to actually northwest Queensland, working for 4 years in a remote large zinc mine where I was one of the environmental staff there in charge of monitoring the operation. And it's quite a large mine. It was also a port site up in the Gulf of Carpentaria, and working with a lot of local communities, mainly Indigenous Australian communities, and working with them and getting them to help us monitor, and also with the regulators as well, making sure that that operation worked well within its requirements. And also we worked with operations to help reduce the environmental impact. At that time, I was also studying my Masters of Science in Environmental Chemistry because I am slightly crazy. And so I worked in Northwest Queensland for 5 years in total before moving to South Australia so I could be closer to my boyfriend at the time, who I met at that remote mining camp in Queensland. And he's a process engineer or a metallurgist, although he's been working in the environmental field for the last 10 years in areas of greenhouse and water management, in particular for the largest industrial site in Australia. And it was at this site at Olympic Dam where I was a senior environmental engineer for 5 years. And I worked there. So all in all, I worked for 11 years in the minerals industry as an environmental engineer before I left on maternity leave with my first son in 2009. Now, we were living in outback South Australia, and indeed we still live in outback South Australia in the middle of nowhere. And I was pregnant, heading out on maternity leave, and was really quite burnt out. I was working at a senior level in the organisation, pretty high up, very long hours, and I kind of had figured it out during pregnancy that I didn't want to keep working like that, and particularly when I was a mum. Although I was so passionate about the environment, and I was in the baby world right then, so looking for all eco-friendly baby products for my baby, and there wasn't much around back then. So I created a business called Sustain a Baby, an online eco-parenting shop and a blog, really. And for 6 years I ran that. Had another baby along the way as well, so running it from my little town in outback South Australia, exporting to the world, really, and helping a lot of mums make greener choices for their baby and young children. Now, at that time, so I moved Sustain a Baby on late last year. After 6 years, I decided it was time for someone else to take charge, and I just really wanted to focus on eco-education, because for the last couple of years I'd been doing both. A lot of my customers were asking me, how can we do this? How do you do this at home, Laura? So I started creating some courses with all those answers in them to help people live more sustainably and reduce their household's impact on the environment, but to create a much healthier home as well for them and their families and the environment. So the Home Detox Bootcamp was my first course. I also created Greenhouse Home Energy Blitz, and I'm in the process right now of filming in the next couple of weeks my Self-Sufficiency in the Suburbs course, but I'm not going to talk about that today. So these days I talk and I inspire and educate a lot on eco-living via my Eco Chat podcast in iTunes and on my website, which these days is just lauratrotter.com. And I also chat and write for a lot of other places, namely ABC Radio. I'm on ABC 639 North and West South Australia every Tuesday morning with Sarah Tomlinson with an Eco Chat segment. And I write regularly for, I guess, quite some large sites like I Quit Sugar, 1 Million Women, even Pinky McKay. And in the past, I wrote extensively for My Child magazine, Australian Breastfeeding Association, and Nurture when I was in that parenting space all the time. So that was pretty quick, but as you can see, I'm truly obsessed with all things, I guess, eco, but wellness and healthy living in a nutshell, really. And that's why I'm really excited to share some tips with you today. And indeed, this is some new content I haven't put out in a webinar before, to help you create a healthy, safe, and eco-friendly home that's in the best interest for you and your family. Okay, so it's time to move on and dive straight into the content. The 5 main sources of toxins in your home, and more importantly, what you can do to reduce the risk to your family. Now, before I dive in, I just want to say it was a little bit tricky for me to pick the top 5. And like I said, I haven't gone out to some encyclopedia or something that said these are the top 5. It's obviously my opinion and subjective to what I believe in my experience and expertise as well. And I've really tried to focus on things that you may not be aware of that can and do have a massive impact on our health, and really look into some of them you may be surprised about, because some of them may not be as toxic as others, but they may be things that we're exposed to all the time. So because of that reason alone, it's something that we need to be aware of and that we can change. Okay, so number 1 is actually, if you've got a gas heater, I want you to prick your ears up and listen right here, because unflued and faulty gas heaters may release toxic gases such as nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, formaldehyde, and carbon monoxide into our homes. And these gases can cause fatigue and drowsiness, coughs, shortness of breath, colds, headaches, asthma, chest pain, and even death. And in particular, I just want you to become really aware about the gas carbon monoxide, because it's particularly dangerous as it's a colourless and it's an odourless toxic gas. So what this means is basically there's no warning that you're breathing it, basically, and you won't know you're affected until it's too late. And I actually remember when I was a recent graduate and I was driving around in my car, which was a 1980 six, I think, Nissan Bluebird TRX. And at one stage, because I was working at that remote mine in northwest Queensland, I was doing like a 14/7 roster. So I do 14 days on and I'd come back to Townsville for 7 days off. Now, my car would be sitting idle for 14 days and wouldn't be getting used at all. So if I had driven around town and there was some, I guess, condensation in the exhaust, it had burnt a hole in my exhaust. So my parents came up to visit me at that time and we were driving around Townsville and there was a hole in my exhaust and it was a little bit loud and my dad was right onto it. He was a policeman and saw a lot of bad things in his life, you could say. But he was like, we're getting this exhaust fixed right now because there's gas coming in your car and you can't even smell it. And you don't even know about it. And I don't want you gassing yourself with carbon monoxide. And he was totally right. But that's our cars. We're not talking about cars today. So I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. But with your gas heater, I want you to be spot on the nose. And you don't have to go very far to hear of situations where this has got out of hand in some people's homes. And this one was just obviously right at the top in some internet search engines because it was a really tragic story early last year in the United States where a father and 7 of his children died because of carbon monoxide poisoning in his home because of a gas-powered generator. And indeed, there was one, I think last year or the year before in Australia too, where a mother was in the bedroom with her 2 young sons and she lost her 2 young sons and she, I guess, woke up just in time. It was really, really tragic. So I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I do want you to be really aware of unflued gas heaters. So what can you do? So to minimise your family's risk, I really want you to ensure that your gas heater is serviced by a qualified and a registered service agent at least every 2 years. And at the start of winter really is ideal, and also at the first sign of a fault. And for added safety and, I guess, insurance, you can also install a carbon monoxide alarm in rooms where gas heaters are present. And indeed, I think there was that lady that lost her 2 sons, and she's been campaigning pretty heavily to have some legislation brought in that any houses with gas appliances, for example, or particularly gas heaters, need to have these carbon monoxide alarms as regulation, basically. Okay, so I guess just on my perspective and in our own house, we've got a gas wall heater and it's never actually worked well. And it's right near where my desk is and where I basically run my business. But I could often smell some gases and we got it serviced every winter. But even the technician would say, there was some issues with these models. Obviously, it's past warranty now, but we've had so many issues with these models because they were installed in a lot of houses at the same time in the town I live. But we've actually just stopped using it. We've now got a reverse cycle unit installed in our main living area that we can use, and it flows through to where my office is. And of course, when we actually, well, we don't own this house, we own part of this house, the banks own some of the house, but when we do leave this house, we'll be actually ripping that unit off the wall and no longer having it there. Just because we recognise the risk. We don't want any other one else to use it. Even when we're getting it serviced regularly, there was a fault with that unit. So anyway, I won't talk too much about more gas heaters, but that is what I want you to be aware about. Number 1, biggest risk in your home, in my eyes. Okay, number 2, and this is a big risk because we probably, well, depending how often you sleep or even how often your kids sleep, you're exposed to your mattress a good 8 hours every day. Now, your mattress is quite toxic. It's not just the materials that your mattress can be made of, and obviously flame retardants and things like that. That's obviously another source. But I'm really just honing right in on the house dust mite today. And they thrive in items like mattresses and pillows. And they thrive because they feed on basically the flakes of skin that come off our bodies and we don't realize, but we're shedding skin all the time. Not like a snake that our skin comes off whole, but little bits of skin all the time. And house dust mites, they love that. And they love animal dander, which is basically, sorry, it's jumping ahead, is basically skin of our dogs and cats that are inside, and fur as well. So they love that as well. So a typical mattress may have up to 10 million house dust mites inside. And the issue here is that around 10% of the population And even more so, 80% of asthmatic children are allergic to dust mites. So if they're breathing them in, they're getting an allergic reaction. And this might look like symptoms like itchy and watery eyes, sneezing, runny or blocked nose, dry persistent coughs, wheezing, and even dermatitis. So if you're finding that you're quite sniffly or you're coughing a lot in your bed at night or when you're getting up in the morning, or your children are, it's a bit of a sign that it's time to do something about your mattress. So what can you do? Well, basically, you want to be vacuuming your mattress regularly with a vacuum with an HEPA head, which is a high efficiency particulate air filter on your vacuum. And this filter is just critical because it filters down to 0.3 micrometers in size, which if it can suck up particles that size and keep them in the vacuum, that's a great thing, because a lot of other vacuums can just like it sucks it up and it goes straight through the bag and back out into the air. And where, you can making things worse and making these dust particles more airborne and exposing your family to these allergens. Now, I know this point is really, really hard because for many of us, our pets are our family. And, I think I spoke in a blog post a couple of weeks ago when I spoke about indoor air quality and dust. I spoke about my cat, Ruby, our beautiful ragdoll cat, and how she loves sneaking into our bedrooms. But if you have got your cats or dogs on your bed, that is getting them off your bed is one of the biggest, most important things you can do to have a healthy mattress as well. So, yeah, try and get your pet sleeping on their own bed, which isn't yours or someone else's in the family. Now, there are some companies out there that have mattresses that have like layers or barriers that can stop, stop dust mites and stuff like that. So you can also check them out. But as a bare minimum, get in the habit of vacuuming it with a vacuum with a HEPA head. Pardon me. And that's me coughing. Maybe I just breathed some dust mites. All right, I'm just going to double check the chat box to make sure, you can still hear me. There's no issues, and that's looking good. All right. Now, air fresheners. The issue with air fresheners, and by these air fresheners, I'm talking about obviously aerosol can ones that you might be using, but also those plug-in-the-wall ones that plug into the electrical socket and just continually disperse fragrance throughout our home. Now, the issue with air fresheners is that many of them contain volatile organic compounds, which can cause nasal or airway irritation, headaches, in some cases vomiting, and feelings of drowsiness. Now, I know that I'm around synthetic fragrances. I'm a migraine sufferer, and fragrances are one of those things that can really set me off. Now, most air fresheners contain fragrance, which may be listed as fragrance or parfum on the label. Now, many of you may know that that is not just one ingredient. And indeed, this is when you registered this webinar, I was telling you about that one ingredient that's in so many household products that isn't what it seems. Well, fragrance is that, because some 3,000 chemicals are used as fragrances. And because our labeling laws are pretty, I guess, behind the times, but also to protect companies' intellectual property, they don't have to list all the individual chemicals that are used as fragrance in their product. So by just listing fragrance, you can be covered for around 3,000 odd chemicals. Now, they may only have one or two in there, but they may also have 200, and you just don't know because you can't read, it doesn't say on the label. And many of these unlisted fragrances are irritants, and they can trigger things like allergies, migraines in people. Hello, that's me. And asthma symptoms as well. And there's actually been some experiments in the laboratory that have also successfully, or I don't know, you want to call it successful because it's not a great thing. They've also had these studies that have linked some individual fragrance ingredients, with cancer and neurotoxicity as well. So fragrance is something just to be really aware of. And I've listed air fresheners because particularly those continuous ones that some people have in their homes because they like the smell, that's just continually dispersing fragrance throughout your home. So switch them off, pull them out, and use maybe diffuse some essential oils instead, or you can actually absorb some odors with baking soda. So for example, in my fridge, I have a little dish that has some baking soda or sodium bicarbonate in it. Same in the toilets as well. You can just have a little dish with baking soda. You can pop some drops of essential oils in there as well. Or if you've got a diffuser, you can diffuse some essential oils throughout your home, and it will still smell beautiful, but it would have it's a pure natural source, not a synthetic source. If you're getting pure essential oils, not perfumed essential oils, they won't be essential oils. They'll just be like a fragrance oil. So yes, you just need to read the label there and make sure you're buying the real deal with your essential oils. Number 4. So, pardon me. Number 4, and I've put this one again because we might be applying it in the morning and at night, or if you're active as well. So it's not necessarily in the home, but I've singled something out of our beauty and body care cabinets. I could have actually just listed your entire beauty and body care cabinet if you're using a lot of conventional products. But yeah, deodorant is the biggest one because we apply it, several times a day. Now, the main issue here is that the skin in our armpits is really, really sensitive, and it can absorb up to 100% of products that we apply onto it. So these products are directly absorbed into our body and in our bloodstream. So generally, on our skin, on other aspects of our body, like if we're putting on a hand cream or a sun cream or something like that, it's typically more around the 60% that can be absorbed. But yeah, under our armpits, or I guess if you're putting anything on your genitals, the same applies there. It pretty much all goes straight in. So that's why I've singled out deodorant. And deodorants with antiperspirants that can contain aluminium have been linked to conditions such as breast cancer and Alzheimer's. And many, many commercial deodorants also have fragrance listed on them. So right back to that, the slide before, I was talking about fragrance and you don't really know the list of those chemicals in it. That's the issue there. So again, you can be putting them on under your arms. So yeah, what do we want to do with deodorant? Basically, I'd really encourage you to make the switch to a natural deodorant. And there's more and more out there available commercially nowadays. It's really a little niche that's taking off. So many of these are made with baking soda and like shea butter and things, or even some like bentonite clays or just clays and things like that. Or you can very easily make your own from things like coconut oil, baking soda, and corn flour starch as well. So we do cover camp. I do cover and teach people how to make their own deodorants. But if you're just looking for some quick ones on the market, I really recommend Erica Brooks deodorant creams, or Black Chicken Remedies is a good one as well. Or if you're in the US, Cocoa Pits. I haven't actually tried it, but just looking at the ingredients, it looks pretty good as well. Okay, number 5, and this one is, again, one of those lurking dangers that most people don't really know about, and we still need to learn a little bit more about as well. So your meter box. So this is the meter box that you can go out and read your electricity, your gas meters and things like that. So in a nutshell, wherever there's electricity, there's exposure to electric and generally magnetic fields. So when operating in our homes, for example, electrical appliances, so think of your fridge, they produce both electric and magnetic fields. Now, if they're not in use, the magnetic field is not produced and no current is drawn. However, the electric field remains if the appliance is switched on at the power source. Unlike magnetic fields, electric fields are easily attracted to anything that conduct electricity, including humans, in their attempt to be earthed. Now, magnetic fields, on the other hand, they're produced as a result of flowing electricity when an appliance is being used, and they can penetrate most materials, including concrete, bricks, and steel. So they're of particular concern in our home. So it's like you can have your meter box on the outside of your home, but the magnetic fields from that meter box can penetrate through the wall. So why is this an issue? It comes down to electrical hypersensitivity, which can be caused by exposure to these electromagnetic fields. Now, some of the symptoms of electrical hypersensitivity include, again, headaches, difficulty in concentration, poor memory, dizziness, confusion, ringing in the ears, sleep disturbances, nausea. There's quite a lengthy list of this. And I guess on the more serious scale, there's been some studies that have linked exposure to magnetic fields with childhood leukemia and immune-related disorders. And also the International Agency Research on Cancer has listed, 50 hertz magnetic fields as a possible carcinogen. So there's still a little bit of, research and stuff that needs to go on about this, but even I guess you can say there's agencies out there recommending to take some precautions, which we'll go through on the next slide. But in a nutshell, while I've singled out your meter box, is that it's one of the greater sources in the home, and it can often be placed on the wall outside our bedrooms. So what you want to do, if your meter box is in an area where you're spending a lot of time, so say if it's just on the wall outside where your bed head is, for example, you really want to be moving the bed away from the meter box. So you want to be, even if you can't change rooms, even just putting your bed on another wall in the room so it's not in that adjacent room. So even just the exposure drops off significantly, like each meter you go away. So move it a meter away or even 2 meters away. If you're spending a lot of time on the couch, for example, and the meter box is on the wall outside the couch, you might maybe want to move your couch, sorry. But before you're really stressing out, you can actually hire some meters and you can measure the levels in your home or around that area just to quantify and see if it is a risk in your home. Another thing that you can do, although it is quite costly, is to move the meter box. But like I said, that is quite costly. So these recommendations have actually come from the Australian Radiation Protection and Nuclear Safety Agency. So they've recommended these 3 actions to if you're concerned about sleeping next to meter boxes. Now, this is a topic that we do talk a little bit more about in my Home Detox Bootcamp, and we've got a guest expert that comes in, Nicole Belsma, who talks about it in a lot more detail because it was quite an issue in her home, and she put it down to leading to several miscarriages in her own life. And once they changed their bedrooms and things like that, their health really improved. So she's made it her mission to learn a lot more about it and teach a lot more people about it, and indeed set up some high level courses on that, training other building biologists in their home in this subject. Okay, so there's the 5 main sources of toxins in your home that I wanted to share with you today. As mentioned, I could have included many more, like things like cleaner are really toxic, like it's sodium hydroxide, and like very corrosive. But if you're only cleaning your oven every 2 years, it's not really as big an issue. So I've really tried to hone in on sources in your home that you and your family may be exposed to on a daily basis and that may be impacting your health. So yeah, I'd like you to tell me whether any surprises for you or any that you're already on top of and aware of and you've taken actions to reduce in your home. Any surprises, any news? So just feel free to chat in the chat box and I'll pop in and have a look. Now, I know you registered for this webinar to learn more about reducing the toxins in your home. And if you're keen to learn more about these topics so you can create a healthier, safer home to live in day out and for your health, but also for the health of the family that you're raising, I'd love to tell you about a very special program I've created that will help you achieve your toxin-free home. And it's basically the Home Detox Bootcamp I created it because we all know that our homes, our very own living environment, isn't the right place to be exposed to toxins. You know, when we're out and about in the cities and everything, we come home at the end of the day, we kind of want to be in our own little sanctuary. You know that we've got some of the big ticket items, especially under control in our homes. And that's why I created the Home Detox Bootcamp, to really get everyone a lot more aware about the toxins in our environment. So yeah, this program is the ultimate course for you to remove toxins, but really toxic chemicals I focus in on a lot because that's my background with my chemistry in particular, and create the chemical-free living space that you deserve. Okay, so what is this program and how does it work? So basically it is an 8-week program. So there's 8 modules. and it's run via a mobile-friendly membership site. So yeah, 8 content modules where I cover different topics. There's about 7 guest experts at the moment with some really in-depth interviews with them that you can watch and learn about specific topics. You also get a home detox toolkit. So there's fact sheets on different products you may use in your home. There's a recipe index as well. So if you're wanting to switch and make some of your own products, be it cleaners, detergents, or beauty products, body products, you can there's a searchable recipe index that you can type what you want to make and find it in there, or just search by area of the house, like bathroom or toilet, whatever. There's a support community in Facebook. We run the odd live Q&A sessions, but the main thing is there's lifetime access. So once you join, you're in for good. So which means that you get free updates, upgrades of material. At late this year, I'll be rebranding the whole site because the logos and everything still match my old branding, not my new Laura Trotter branding. So you will also update the website and some of the content then as well. So if you join, you'll get access to all of that and lifetime access to the support community as well. So what does the course cover? As I said, there's 8 modules. So the first week is an introduction week on really some of the main toxins in the home, and just a bit of a basic overview of chemistry, really. But a very a simplified nature, just look at what we want to be removing out of our homes and what we want to be bringing in. We then dive into laundry love, which is all about, jumping all around here, which is all about what we wash our clothes in and switching to some natural homemade laundry detergents there. So be it wool mix or stain remover sprays, soakers, a liquid detergent or a powder detergent. We go into kitchen blitz, which is all about the kitchen area, of course, and toxins found in the kitchen and how you can make natural, dishwashing liquids, multi-purpose sprays, how to clean a stainless steel fridge without leaving fingerprints, all that sort of stuff. Bathroom and toilet's a big module. We really dive into mold there and very some great ways to get lime scale off naturally and all that sort of jazz, and those nasty toilet stains that linger for a while. I've got a really great recipe there. General home cleaning sorted is really about everything in the home. So it's not just cleaning. This is where we talk about Wi-Fi's and meter boxes, indoor air quality, carpet cleaners, wall cleaners, windows, all those general things that apply to the whole area of your home pretty much. Module 6 is all about pest control and coming up with a lot of natural ways to deter pests in your home, because when you think about it, a lot of the fly sprays and things that we're spraying around, they actually, render the nervous system on insects and pests. They break that down, but they affect us as well, and especially our pets. Module 7 is a very popular one. We look at personal care, so the products that we're putting on our skin and our hair and our nails and things like that. And the final module is living chemical-free, the way for life. So just tips and tricks to set you up for ongoing success. So participants access the material via, as I said, a custom-built membership site, which is also mobile-friendly. So you can jump on board on your laptop or your phone or your iPad, for example. Inside the membership site, you'll see all the different modules here, Module 1 through to Module 8, the fact sheets, the recipe index, and also guest experts too, so where you can go and watch those videos. Now, I have an appreciation that everyone learns differently. So I myself, I'm an auditory and a kinesthetic learner. So I learn by listening, which is why podcasts and webinars are great for me. And I also learn by doing. So obviously if I do a practical exercise, I learn and I lock it in. But I understand a lot more people are visual or prefer to read or learn in other ways. So for that fact, in each module of the Home Detox Bootcamp, you can choose to learn by watching a video, for example, which is a slideshow. You can download the workbook, which has just a transcript of the videos and has all the recipes in the videos as well. Or you can download an audio and just listen on your phone or in the car or wherever you want to go. And there's worksheets for different exercises in the different weeks as well. So as I mentioned, there's videos with guest experts and the fact sheets as well. So if you want to learn more about microfiber cloths or eucalyptus essential oil. You can just click on them and dive deep and learn a bit more of that if you choose to. But if you just want to pop in and download the recipes and get started straight away, you're totally welcome to do that as well. Okay, now I mentioned that there's some bonuses when you join Home Detox Bootcamp. And the first one, and I guess the most attractive one for so many, is that you do get lifetime access, which for the duration that I run the course, you've always got that ongoing access, which means a free update to the content, direct support from me in the Facebook community, and it's not just from me, it's from the hundreds of other women that have gone through the course and the alumni that are in there helping you as well. So if you've got a question, you can pop in there, and if I don't get onto it straight away, someone else does and helps you out. Plus, you get an SOS stain guide, which is awesome in the laundry with all natural ways to remove stains so you don't have to resort to chemical bleach. And as I mentioned, that recipe index. Now, we've got some fantastic contributors, which are some of Australia's leading experts in their field. So we've got, I'll just run quickly, Dr. Natasha Andriadis, which is she's a fertility specialist, a gynecologist and certified reproductive endocrinologist. And in a masterclass with her, you'll learn all about how, I guess, toxins in our home can impact on our fertility. Jess Donovan is a respected naturopath and women's holistic expert. And in the masterclass, she basically guides you through steps you can take in food preparation and storage to reduce your chemical exposure. Bill Statham is a health researcher and the author of The Chemical Maze, and we chat. You can learn from him all about, I guess, it's all the food additives that are in our food and reducing our toxins in your diet there, and in beauty and body products as well. So he's shared some great insights there. Sarah Fieschi was originally a home detoxer. Now she's gone on to create her own business manufacturing natural pure soaps at the Australian Soap Kitchen. And she's come on board as our soap making expert, so you can learn how to make your own soaps, but also what's in soaps and why we want to be using natural soaps. Okay, so Jody DeCorrado is a natural beauty therapist and the founder of Jolly Natural Skincare, and she shares a lot of tips and tricks on how to detox your beauty cabinet. And in particular, we chat about the many chemicals that are found in skincare and their side effects. Belsma is a healthy home expert, and she comes on board with a masterclass all about electromagnetic radiation, what you can do in your homes. And Erica Brook, founder of Erica Brook Natural Skincare and those awesome deodorant creams I talked about, she comes on board and we chat all things deodorant and how to make the switch to a natural deodorant without breaking out in a red rash, because some people, your body can go into a bit of chaos when you're making some changes. So she talks about that process, how you can go through that. Okay, I'm just going to have a mouthful of water. Okay, what people are saying. Amanda from South Australia says, I've absolutely loved this course and have recommended it to anyone who's wanting to listen. The course is practical and the changes once implemented are very easy to adhere to. Once you've embraced the home detox way of life, you'll never look back. Okay, so what should this cost? Now, I'm not going to go too much in this, but it doesn't cost $349, although it did at one stage. It doesn't even cost $249. Right now, you can grab Home Detox Bootcamp for $197 Australian, which is approximately $150 US. So the main thing is, if you want to join Home Detox Bootcamp, the doors close tomorrow. So Thursday, the 18th of August at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So you really have only got about 30 hours left to decide if you're going to jump on board this last live round of 2016. I said I won't run another live round until maybe mid-2017. So, yeah, you could always join now and you don't have to jump in straight away. You can do the materials at your own pace. You have got that lifetime access. But I just wanted to let you know that this is the last time to join a live round for 2016. And I do understand that even $197 is a stretch for some. So there is a payment plan available. and that works out at 3 payments of $77. So you'd pay $77 today. In a month's time, another $77 comes out, and then in another month's time after that. Okay, so what people are saying, when I saw the free dishwasher powder recipe on Laura's home detox cheat sheet, I had to try it. To my absolute surprise, it worked, and it worked brilliantly. The dishes were clean and the kitchen smelled amazing, fresh and lemony. I decided then and there that I had to join the home detox bootcamp. Now, Trina worked out how much she was spending on dishwasher tablets a year and how much the dishwasher powder would cost. And the savings on the dishwasher powder alone more than paid for the course. And she paid $349, which was full price. Okay, now here's the deal. You'll need to go to homedetoxbootcamp.com to register for this next round of Home Detox Bootcamp, which kicks off next Tuesday, the 23rd of August. But as I mentioned, you've only got until tomorrow, Thursday the 18th, to join. And if you join right now, as in live on this webinar, I'll also throw in the exclusive bonus guide, which details 10 quick actions to detox your home and improve your health. Now, if you're anything like me, you want quick actions that get results fast. And this little e-guide is jam-packed with some of the best things you can do right now to reduce the load of toxins on your family. So in fact, you can get started, and come time for module 1 of the course next to hit your inbox next Tuesday, if you do these 10 quick actions, you'll already have made a significant impact in your home. So that's just available to those who join live on this webinar right now. And it's not available anywhere else. Okay, so when you join Home Detox Bootcamp, I just want to let you know that you're not just saying yes to removing toxins from your home, you're also providing a smile and some basic comfort to a woman and generally children in need. So $10 from every sale goes towards providing a welcome pack of essential body care products. So a toxin-free shampoo, conditioner, and deodorant cream to women seeking refuge in the Uniting Care Wesley Port Augusta Regional Domestic Violence and Aboriginal Family Violence Service, which is quite a mouthful. But that's basically the local domestic violence service to where I live now. I said I live in outback South Australia in a small town of about 3,000 people. And when women are leaving violent situations here, that's where they go, which is about 300 kilometres away. And then they generally might have to get moved on from there. So sometimes it's as quick that they just get put on a bus and shipped down to Adelaide, which is 600 kilometres away, or they might get a hotel room. So this actually gives them just a nice little packet of welcome products that they can at least have a shower with some nice products. So yeah, you'll be helping to make that difference. Okay, now I just want to give you a quick look behind the scenes of some things in the Home Detox Bootcamp. I'm pretty sure Bex just put the link up on the screen. You can jump on board, and yep, and I don't know if Bex put it up there yet, but you can go through, just go to homedetoxbootcamp.com. Now, just behind the scenes, as I said, the Facebook community is a great place where everyone chats and learns a lot more and supports each other. So in this group, I'll stimulate discussion and share some tips, for example, as you can see here. But it's also a great place for participants to help each other and share their tips too, as you can see here. And it's really grown into a really helpful, supportive community. But it's also a place for people to troubleshoot. So as I said, if you do have a problem, this is more happens in the laundry more than often than not, or if people have got different stains and stuff throughout their house, or just questions, they'll pop it in there and get some advice from other people as well. And of course, it's also a place for celebration. So when people are reducing like the products in their home, it might be from like 50 products down to like 10 or something. Everyone likes to take photos and show their starting points and their finish points at the end of the boot camp. And yeah, as I said, celebration. So the fact that people are having their children clean with them now and they're not worried anymore, or they're very proud of themselves with all the natural products that they've made. That all goes on in the community. Okay, so what are people saying? So Jodie Wakefield from Western Australia says, I can't highly recommend the Home Detox Bootcamp enough. My family is benefiting from improved health, including that my children's eczema has disappeared, which has been a very long road for us, and improved sleep. I've also noticed huge cost savings and less dependency on the grocery store. Our life has been enriched far, far beyond replacing household products. And Lauren from New South Wales says the course has provided me with the knowledge and the tools to make my home a beautiful, healthy place. The value for money is exceptional and Laura's guidance is amazing. Finding Laura and her home detox bootcamp was one of the best days of my life, and I can't thank her enough for all her time and effort. Okay, so here's just another great thing about the course is that when you invest, you've got my personal 21 days money back guarantee. So this means that you can try out the course, and if you're not loving it, you can get your money back. No questions asked. Okay, so who's this training for? You might be asking that. It's basically if you're concerned about your children's exposure to toxins in your home, or you're worried about your exposure, particularly if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, this course is a perfect fit for you. Maybe your children have eczema or asthma, dermatitis, or they might even be on the spectrum and you'd love to reduce the chemical load on their bodies, then this course is a great no-brainer for you as well. Or perhaps you'd like to reduce your family's waste and reduce your grocery bill, or you'd like to reclaim some cupboard space and, get rid of the clutter and the number of commercial cleaning and personal care products in your home. And Home Detox Bootcamp definitely helps you achieve that. Or maybe you're a health or environmental professional and you're all over the why you should do this and you've been wanting to do it for some time, but you just haven't gotten around to figuring out the how. And you want someone credible to just tell you what to do so you can finally walk the talk on a healthy eco home. Well, if that's you, you are definitely in the right place. Because if you're willing to learn about the natural alternatives to a lot of common commercial products in our home and you're positive, open and prepared to invest a little bit of extra time up front during the transition, then the Home Detox Bootcamp is for you. Now, as I mentioned, each Home Detox module has a video, training slides and workbooks and activity sheets, and you've got lifetime access to all them. Doors close tomorrow for kickoff on Tuesday, and once you invest, you'll just receive an introductory email and your first workbook that details everything you need to know just to get organised for when we start. So almost at the end, just wrapping it all up, the Home Detox Bootcamp has 8 action-focused how-to training modules. It's got heaps of extra support materials, so with the videos, the training slides, workbooks, activity sheets. And I'm not one to overload you. I get it. I'm a working mum. I've got 2 young kids as well, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So I really make them action focused and straight to the point, so you get the value that you need to break up with toxins in your home. And plus the ongoing support, which is pretty rare in the online environment these days. Most people, you get a course and then you're out at the end of the 2-3 months, and if you want to do it again, you need to pay to do it again. This one is you've got the access to it for good. So a lot of my home detoxers say how invaluable that is. So if something goes wrong or there's a death in the family or life just gets too busy, they can come back in when they're more ready and continue on. Yeah, and you get insights from guest experts and myself and some bonuses there as well. So Kristen from Queensland says, this course means so much. I can see a bright future for my family. If you're thinking about doing this course, just do it because you will not lose out. I can guarantee you'll definitely gain so much. And Shelley from the USA, and I'll just note that we've got quite a few people from the USA and the UK in particular that are in the home detox community, and even this round there's been quite a few join from there, which is growing, and we're getting over time we're getting more resources that we can point in the direction for our USA and UK people. It's not just all Australian material. But Shelley says, now I can feel comfortable about my kids crawling all over the floor and know that I'm doing all I can to keep them safe at home. I feel like I made a small investment in both time and money and reaped a huge reward that I can continue to refine as I have time and our needs change. Okay, so take action now. Head on over to join me at the Home Detox Bootcamp today. And yeah, once done, be sure to tell your friends and family that you've joined so they can support you on your home detox and consider joining with you. I'm really looking forward to having you on board, and I can't wait to help you break up with toxins for good and really see you transform your life, and not just your life, transform your grocery bill. I didn't pop it here, but one of another person that's gone to the home, she's slashed something like $500 off her monthly grocery bill just by making the changes that have come from the Home Detox Bootcamp, and she's over the moon. All right, so without any further chitter-chatter from me, I'm going to duck into the chat room again and see if you've got any questions about the Home Detox Bootcamp in particular, or about any of the material tonight that I've covered today. Okay, so let's have a look at some questions. Heated candle mounts, Karen. Okay, so yeah, heated candle mounts, it really comes down to what their fragrance is in them, if they might have some essential oils, yeah, or is it I guess a synthetic perfume, and that would obviously be the fragrance and the parfum. But yeah, also, again, a risk of exposure always comes down to, I guess, the frequency. So if you're burning them all the time, or if it's once in a blue moon. But yeah, heated candle melts is yeah, something just probably to be aware of, mainly to do with the parfum or the fragrance in them. But yeah, I'm not too sure how they're heating, if you're getting any smoke or anything off them. But yeah, just check them out. If they're purely natural, or if they're from like a soy-based candle melt, that would be a lot better than a synthetic wax and synthetic fragrance. Oh yeah, sorry, Angela's just written about the soy candles as well. Okay, so Karen wants to know about, so would I suggest using one of those crystals that I've seen advertised for deodorants, and just wondering if anyone has used them. I have used them indeed, but I haven't found them to be effective. Now, saying that, I live in a very hot climate, and I also, well, I guess I'm quite active, so I go to the gym and things like that as well. So it's nothing to have a 45-degree day for weeks on end in February each year in the summer here. So the crystals just didn't work for me at all. The most effective deodorants I've had have been the bicarb soda ones, because yeah, that baking soda actually prevents bacteria. So as long as you put it on as soon as you have your shower or get up in the morning, it stops the smell that comes from body odor is from bacteria. So if you're popping that bicarb soda on, it basically stops that. It kills those bacteria on your armpits. But yeah, we do cover that, talk about that in a lot of detail in the masterclass with Erica Brooke in the Home Detox Bootcamp. Yeah, tricky to get used to. Yeah, with the deodorants, yeah, that all comes down to doing the pit detox, which yeah, and preparing your pit and pit as in your armpit. Yeah. So what if a meter box is inside your house? Sam asks. Oh, sorry, can I just want to know the names of natural deodorants again? Like I said, it's quite easy to make your own, and we've got recipes in the Home Detox Bootcamp to do that. But some of the commercial ones I recommend are definitely Erica Brooke, and she's in Australia. The black chicken one's okay as well. It is very good, but I personally prefer Erica's. I find it more effective. And Cocoa Pits is one in the US as well, that it looks like the ingredients are quite similar to Erica's, and obviously is similar to the ones that we make ourselves as well. Sam asks what if the meter box is inside your house. It really kind of depends where it is, and if you're like within a meter of it, 1 to 2 meters. So if it's, obviously it's not going to be in a bedroom, but if it's really just where it is in your house. I wouldn't be wanting to have it in an area where your children were always playing, like if they're like within a meter of it. And same with you, like if you're, hours cooking and stuff like that. But if you're concerned, like I said, you can hire those the radiation gauges and measure them, or get a building biologist to come to your house and measure them. Okay, Gail. Yeah, I'm running this webinar again at 8 p.m. my time tonight, which is 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So you can come back and watch it then. Although I think I've pretty much have hooked up for replays to go out as well. Oh, thanks, Karen. Great that you got the labels. Yeah, that's a little surprise welcome pack for people that join. You've just given away the surprise. But yeah, I'm great to have you on board, Karen, and I can't wait to get started. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Claire. Yep. Wi-Fi is definitely one. I didn't include it in, haven't chatted about it today because I wanted to talk about some different things. But it's definitely, if you sign up today live on this webinar, you'll get that book and that free e-guide. And we talk about Wi-Fi a lot in detail there. And Wi-Fi, we cover it extensively in Module 5 of the Home Detox Bootcamp, and why I think you should be concerned about Wi-Fi in your home and what you can do to reduce your exposure. And yeah, talk about all about cordless phones and mobile phones, baby monitors, especially. Yep, definitely. And also baby monitors I talk about in my blog and podcast that just has gone out this week on how to create a natural nursery. So you'll find some of the information there as well. Yeah, Vicky, you should get an email with the replay for sure. And yeah, Janita, pardon me. Yeah, definitely there is installment. So it's a 3 monthly installment at $77 a month. Cool. Just looking for any more questions. Yep, so that's cool. So yeah, I'll just reiterate that the changes you'll make in the Home Detox Bootcamp, like you can get some very quick wins that help reduce your grocery bill and things like that. So you break up with a lot of those products. So definitely a lot of people have found that as being one of the best things that they love about the course, the money savings that they save. So yeah, I can see a welcome people that sign up. So yeah, welcome Sandra and Sandy and Lenka and Diana. Okay, so is there any more questions about the Home Detox Bootcamp or the material on the webinar today? You can also head over to my blog or my podcast in iTunes. That's Eco Chat with Laura Trotter in iTunes if you're looking to keep on learning more about eco living in particular and building healthier homes. And also, lauratrotter.com is my main website where I blog every week. So lauratrotter.com/blog. Okay. Oh, sorry. There's a question I think about when the payment. Okay, so if you do the installments, you would pay today, but you can pay by credit card, and then the next one comes out a month after that, and the next one a month after that. So, yeah, by then you should have made a lot of changes to basically have recouped a lot of that money. And the same thing is true. Like we dive straight into laundry and I think it was kitchen is number 3 and bathroom. So a lot of those ones focusing on a bit more of the cleaning things, but I always give options with products that you may already have in your home. So there might be some baking soda or vinegar. So you can use some of that and then obviously start saving off your grocery bill without, before we talk about some other changes that, by buying an essential oil that might cost a bit of money. So you can actually start saving some money and already start cutting out, multi-purpose sprays and things like that you might be buying week in and week out at the grocery store. Okay, well, looks like our time's up. We're just on 1 hour. So welcome to everyone who has definitely joined the Home Detox Bootcamp, and I can't wait to dive in and get started with you next Tuesday. It's coming very, very quickly. And for all of you still might be thinking about it or sitting on the fence, just so you know, you've got about, it's not quite 24 hours, a bit more than 24 hours, but a day and a bit to jump on board and create a healthier home and healthier life. So this is the last round for 2016, and I'd love to have you join us. And if not, keep in touch, and it may suit you more to join at a later stage. But thanks so much, and I'll catch you again another time. Bye.